Hey, what's up guys? It's Jukes. In this video I want to talk about FIFA 18. So if you guys have followed me on Twitter, you know that I have posted a fair amount of complaints on this game, and you're probably getting a sense of deja vu because I did the same last year. I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't, but this game to me has a lot of issues, and I feel like some people are kind of aware of the issues and some people aren't. But before I get started, I mean, it is just my opinion, so it's not necessarily the truth. And if you like the game, fair play. If you like the game, go out and enjoy it, because I wish I liked the gameplay, because I miss liking FIFA gameplay. It's been since FIFA 16 that I like FIFA gameplay, so. But as you guys can see, I'm not doing bad at the game, so for all the people on Twitter who think I'm only complaining because I'm doing bad, I'm not. Like, my record at the moment is same pace as it was last year, and I barely play draft too. If I played draft, I'd probably have at least 50% less losses, but anyways, this game, so I want to talk about the patch first of all, because there was a lot of people who a lot of people are disappointed with the patch, and for me, the patch has made the game worse, but pre-patch to me wasn't great either, and I didn't talk about it, but pre-patch to me was terribly unbalanced in the sense that although defending was very manual, it was almost manual to a fault. And what I mean by that is, it just felt like at times you could not do anything to prevent certain goals being scored because of the way shooting was functioning. And like, once you got into the higher divisions, like I was in Division 1 before the patch came out, so maybe there was a lot of people who weren't in the higher divisions before the patch came out. But like, the gameplay that was starting to creep in was not enjoyable at all, and like the way the shooting functioned, it just kind of felt like you got rewarded for taking some of the most illogical shots ever. Like, I like to term it pot shots. Like, you're shooting for the sake of shooting, and it was going in. And, you know, I wasn't a fan of that. And plus, there was another sense of, what's it called? I didn't mind the pace being kind of OP, because I kind of like that. If you got by a defender, they didn't catch up to you. But it was almost impossible to prevent certain goals from occurring because of how unbalanced defending was in certain aspects. And again, like, I know I advocated for manual defending, but I feel like EA kind of took it too far in a sense pre-patch. Although I definitely prefer pre-patch over post-patch, like I've said, but like, the main issue I had with pre-patch is it felt like attacking took zero skill. Some of the shots that were going in, like, people were shooting from 30, 40 yards out with low-rated goals too. Like, it felt like there was no distinction between player stats in finishing or shooting. Like, Rashford, Martial were finishing like R9 on steroids, so like, I didn't like pre-patch. I felt like the game was like too accessible to a fault. Like, I felt like anyone could pick it up and score 3-4 goals. And again, I'm not speaking just from like playing drafts or playing Division 10, Division 5. Like, once you get into the higher divisions, like, I'm not saying I was playing pros, but like, people kind of know what they're doing, and they were they knew very well how to exploit the unbalanced and broken shooting pre-patch. So like, pre-patch to me definitely better than post-patch, but I thought it was severely flawed as well. But let me get into the general issues I have with this game, as I'm rambling on right now. Actually, I'll get into some of the things I like. I like the stick dribbling in the game. Like I've said this before, stick dribbling is probably the best it's been since FIFA 13, kind of similar to FIFA 15, and then the very first touches are a nice addition. I do like that a lot. What else do I like? I like, for the most part, the shooting is unchanged from FIFA 17. Most of the animations are still the same. There's a lot of, I suppose, ways you could score this year, so I don't mind that. It was kind of the same in 17, although driven shots are probably still the most efficient way to score. What else? I don't mind driven passes being better. I felt like driven passes in FIFA 17 were a bit loose, and they're kind of snappy again, like they were in FIFA 16. So I kind of like that. What else? I think that might be it for now. If I forget something, I'll leave it in the comments. But let me go into the things that I don't like about this game, and there are a few things. I'll start actually with the defending, because it is completely unbalanced. And what I mean by that is the best way to defend in this game is to let your opponent come to your box and then get the AI in a blockade and then hope you get the auto blocks in. And there's just simply no way to play proactive defense in this game. I've tried everything. I've done high pressure, I've done high aggression, I still have the strikers on press back line, I've tried different formations, I've tried even going high pressure, team pressure. There is simply no way to play proactive defense in the game. It's one of the major issues, because anyone can ping the ball around in this game because of how easy passing is and how completely broken manual interceptions are, the inconsistencies that still exist with manual tackling. Like you'll tackle them perfectly, and it still bounces back to the attacker. And I think one of the issue is the ball. I don't know how EA would do this. I mean, I'm not a game developer, a coder, or anything like that, so I don't know if it's impossible for them to do this. But they need to make the ball like a free object. It almost feels like the ball is always magnetized to a player, so it can't behave organically like it does in real football. So, like, if you tackle a player, it almost seems like it'll artificially lock on to a certain player instead of behaving organically and going as it should. And that causes imbalance in a lot of ways. Like I said, manual tackling is still hit and miss. Like, it might be a bit better than it was in 17, but a lot of times you'll read a player, you'll tackle them, and it'll fall back to the attacker. Even if you charge the tackle, that'll still exist. And if anything, charging the tackle this year leads to those rebounds going back to the attacker even more. So it's almost kind of pointless to even play aggressive defense, which is the issue that I have in the game. There is simply no point or no reward in playing aggressive defense in this game. It's completely pointless. The best way to defend is almost kind of like 17. Take one defender or a midfielder, run around with them. Once they get into your box, you're usually on defensive, ultra defensive, or even park the bus, and then you have the auto blocks in to save you from the multitude of shots that you might end up facing. And it's just kind of like what is the point of even defending in this game? That's the thing. The best way to defend in this game is, again, to not defend. Almost the same as it was in 17, but it's like taking to another extreme this year, because I'm not going to sit here and say 17 was a great game, because I didn't like 17, but there was some, albeit some reward for kind of playing proactive defense, because you could somewhat punish people who were passing brainlessly or passing with no thought, and then you could nick the ball off them and get onto counterattacks quicker, get onto just attacking quicker in general. But the way the passing and defending balances in this game, there's just no point in playing proactive defense. The passing system is so beyond broken that I'm just amazed that they could make a passing system this assisted. There's zero punishment for 180 passes. There's zero, thought into going to pinging the ball around. You can ping pong it about with almost zero thought, zero skill. Normal ground passing power is way too assisted. There's a driven pass in the game for a reason, and it's almost rendered useless because you could just easily ping it about with normal ground passes like 3-4 times, and you're like in the opponent's box. Like, what's the point? Like, they need to, like I talked about in the Google Docs, but they need to lower the power on ground passing severely. They need to completely eradicate 180 passes being accurate. They should never be accurate. Legit, never be accurate, because, like, even I sometimes end up doing it out of habit because, like, what's the point? If they're accurate, why not do them? But the accurate passes that I see from, like, those 180 passes are completely stupid. Like, you should always face the direction you're passing. You have to reward good thought being put into passing, and at the moment it's not rewarded at all. So in essence, you end up getting a game that anyone can pass the ball about, anyone can ping it about. Like, how many games have you played where you and the opponent have 90% pass accuracy or higher? I've played, like, I think probably half of my games like that. Like, and for the people that come out with the games realistic, it's all about passing. When have you ever seen a football game with two teams with 90% pass accuracy? It never happens. Like, it's never happened. So, like, anyone can ping it about. There's no point in playing proactive defense because the game actively punishes you for it. If you end up reading a pass, your player will stick their leg out so slow they'll do a stupid auto lunge animation, they won't get it, or the ball will just, like, magnetize to the attacker, and your good defense that you thought you were playing is punished, because, again, the game doesn't reward you for playing proactive defense. There's no point going out and pressing, hounding the ball. You can't do it, especially if someone knows what they're doing. Or not even if you're playing a pro. That's my point. If you just play someone who knows just a teeny bit of FIFA, they could easily pass it about around you with ease, and there's no counter to it. That's beyond stupid to me. Like, they need to think of a way to balance that. And then this goes into my other issues with the game. Since the auto blocks have returned, and that most people are not bothering with playing aggressive defense because there's no point. They play very defensive, and there's just less ways to create space to counteract those defensive methods that people employ. Like, skill moves are worse than 17. You have 0 burst options. L2, R2 is worse. And again, I don't mind L2, R2 being worse, but if you make it worse, you have to compensate it in other areas. And I don't feel like at the moment it is. Maybe pre-patch it was, because player turning and player pace was more noticeable than it is now. It feels kind of tuned a bit again after the patch, but you have almost no skill moves to use to negate the auto AI that occurs in the box. Like, the AI will swarm itself into the box, and they form like a wall, and it's just very hard to counter that. And again, the game becomes, like, to me the game was RNG before the patch, but it's become almost fully RNG now. Like, sometimes your AI will block the shot, sometimes they won't. And then with goalkeepers, sometimes they'll save low, like, close range shots, sometimes they won't. And then long shots are still unbalanced. Like, you definitely probably have more success scoring long shots than you do with shots inside the box. So the game has become, like, almost fully RNG, to the extent that, like, the main issue I have with the game is it just feels so loose. Like, there's almost no control in the game at all. It feels like everything's so accessible. There's no advanced skill in the game for player separation. Like, no touch dribbling, completely useless. They removed that step over feint, which added some nice combinations that you could do last year. There's no burst options this year. There's 0 skill moves that grant burst options. There's 0 skill moves that are effective in creating space. If you play someone who knows what they're doing, like, you could easily destroy beginners unless they ping the ball about. But, I mean, this game is just very frustrating to play. Honestly, it is. And I've been rambling for, like, almost 15 minutes now. Hopefully it was concise so you could kind of get what my point is. But I'll summarize it again, I suppose. proactive defending is completely broken, needless. So it forces people into playing super defensive. It forces the park the bus that you see in the weekend league. And I'm not saying that you wouldn't see this if proactive defending was better, because I mean people want to win at all costs in the weekend league. But if proactive defending was better, you would end up having a way to punish people who attack poorly. And at the moment, there's almost no punishment to people who are attacking poorly, because they'll get rewarded with how broken proactive defense is. Like I said, if you read a player, you tackle him, sometimes you'll get the tackle, sometimes you won't. Like it's RNG. If you read a pass, your player sometimes intercepts it. For the most part, you won't, because normal ground passing is way too assisted, way too powerful. Manual interceptions are completely broken. Your player is just so slow to react to interceptions that are in your radius. So either they'll completely miss the ball because it'll magnetize to the attacker, or your player will do a stupid auto lunge and you're screwed. Which goes into my other point, like the auto actions in this game need to be completely removed. Auto blocks, like I said, auto blocks should only occur if you're like positioning your player into the attacker. Otherwise, the AI shouldn't slide in for auto blocks, like I see so many times that it happens now. Auto shots should not occur at all. Like I've had at least 10 instances this year where the AI has scored off me from rebounds. Like that should just not happen. Auto clearances should not occur. Auto lunging should not occur. I'm trying to think if I missed one more, but like any auto action just should not occur if you're trying to push the game into esports. But this kind of goes into like another issue I have with the game, with how the direction the game is going. I think it's going further and further away from like a competitive game. I'll give some leeway to EA for this. Like, I know it's not easy. Like, they have to kind of please like two crowds at the moment. You've got the competitive esport crowd like me and like a lot of other people. And then you've got the simulator crowd that people want a football simulation. And they try to fuse those two together, but in the end, you don't end up getting one or the other. Like, the game, in my opinion, is nowhere near suited to being a competitive game. And then the game is just not realistic at all. Like, if you think this game is realistic, do you even watch football? Like, I'm going back to my previous point, but when have you ever seen two teams with 90% pass accuracy in a game? Like, that never happens. So, like, going forward, I don't know how EA are going to handle this, because it feels like they're moving more and more away from competitive FIFA, in the sense that there's less advanced skill in the game. But like, I don't know how they'll handle it. Like, I think they might need to copy Madden and what they do and have like 3 different game styles in a game. Like, I know Madden has arcade simulation, and I think they have one more, but I forgot what it is. So I don't know if that's something the EA FIFA team might have to do. Like, they might have to create 2 separate game styles for a game. Like, you have competitive, which is strictly competitive gameplay, like what's it called? I don't know, use FIFA 15 or FIFA 16's base and then you kind of work on that. Or you have simulation, where you take some aspects of FIFA 17 and FIFA 18 and just kind of fine-tune that into creating a football, almost a realistic simulator, although I don't think they can ever really accomplish that with just 2 6-minute halves. But I feel like that's one way they could end up pleasing both crowds. Like, you have 2 separate game styles, and I know people are gonna cite the different game speeds that are available with slow, normal, and fast, but that doesn't really accomplish anything, to be honest. So alright, I've rambled on for 20 minutes now. Hopefully you guys got the gist of what I wanted to say. My main issues with the game at the moment are proactive defense and the super assisted passing. If they fixed those 2 issues, I could accept the other flaws, like skill moves being much worse, lack of general advanced skill in the game, the goalkeepers being in general more consistent inside the box than outside. Like, my main 2 issues with this game are passing is just way too easy, and there's zero way or not zero away, but there's just almost zero reward for playing proactive defense. So, like, I don't know what EA will do. There will definitely be more patches, like, I'm sure of that. They've only had one gameplay patch so far. They usually, at the minimum, have done 3. So there's going to be one more, like 1,000%. It's just an unknown as to what it'll accomplish. If it was up to me, the 2 things I mainly focus on is proactive defense and the assisted passing. Like I said, they need to eradicate 180 passes. They need to lower the normal ground passing power a good amount, just to lessen the ping pong that occurs. And then maybe, just maybe, we'll see some varied attacking. Because at the moment, and I've watched a lot of replays from like the players in the top 100, everyone mostly plays the same because the game pigeonholes you into that. Like, there's just no way to attack in a varied style this year. Another issue with the game, I suppose. But yeah, I've rambled for 21 minutes now. Hopefully you guys got what I was saying. If I spoke too fast, if it was incoherent, I apologize. But there were people on Twitter asking to see my team, so here's the team at the moment. I don't plan on keeping this team for a good amount because I do want to get Messi as soon as possible, but I don't have the coins to upgrade, so I need to get lucky with my my Team of the Week packs, so hopefully I get luck from that. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video, so hopefully you guys understood what I was saying. It was a pretty long video. If you guys have any questions in the comments, leave below. Just to summarize, pre-patch FIFA, I liked it more than post-patch, but I thought pre-patch also had a lot of issues. Post-patch FIFA, at the moment, for me, is the worst gameplay that I've ever played in FIFA, mainly because of the terribly assisted passing system in the game. I can't remember passing being this easy since like FIFA 10, I think. Proactive defense is needless and it gets punished, so they need to fix those two things ASAP. And then the other things, skill moves are worse. There's just less advanced skill in the game. The goalkeepers are still unbalanced, and yeah, that's pretty much it gameplay wise. Content wise, I don't have any complaints. Like, the content is amazing, although I do wish EA would have some fixes for the weekend league formats, but that's for another video. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, appreciate the thumbs up. If you guys have any questions in the comments, leave below. I'll try to get to them. And if I forgot anything that I was going to mention in this video, I'll leave it in the comments below. But thanks a ton for sticking with me for like 20 plus minutes. But yeah, thanks a ton for watching, guys, and I will catch you guys next time. Take it easy.